Storytelling Cafe, the literal World Storytelling Cafe. We are at this moment, despite the fact that we're in Washington, D.C., London, but on all sorts of places around the world. We are coming live and direct from the actual World Storytelling Cafe in Marrakech for the weekly Sunday program of storytellings by the Moroccan storytellers and the new Moroccan storytellers, the people who are actually driving the tradition forward. So please, could you welcome and put your hand together for Zouhair, please, and Zouhair. Happy Ramadan to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, and happy Ramadan for everyone. So, it's the very first day of Ramadan. That's a very special day. And Ramadan, talking about Ramadan, it's stories and storytelling. It's a magical month with magical stories. So, we will be two storytellers uh, this fine evening. And I'll be the first one, then Muhammad will join me later on. So my story took place in the desert. So once upon a long time ago, there lived a rich merchant. And this merchant had four sons. But these four sons, only three of them were legitimate. The fourth one, who does not know himself, he is unfortunately a bastard. He had him with a servant, and no one knew. I mean, their mother died, so this was a secret that was kept just in the father's chest, and those children did not know who is the bastard. So, as the merchant grew up, and he was in the bed of death, he was dying. He wanted to have a conversation with his sons. So he brought his four sons around him and he told them, "Look, my sons, one of you will not inherit my money because one of you is a bastard. But I cannot tell you who the bastard is. Only the king will." And as he named all of them Muhammad, he told them, Muhammad will inherit, Muhammad will inherit, Muhammad will inherit, and Muhammad will not inherit without specifying whose Muhammad is who. So, as the father, the merchant, died, he left this big fortune. So the children were doing all right altogether. So they were living in the same house, spending from the same money. So they had no issue. But as they got married, here the problem started happening. Every wife will tell her husband just, okay, I mean, you need to get your father's money. That's a whole share that you are sharing with someone who does not really going to inherit any money. Here problems started happening between the brothers. And they decided to go to the king, as their father said before he died. If you want to know who the bastard is, you need to go to the king. So they started traveling, they started their journey crossing the desert. And one day, as they grew tired, they found an oasis. And they sat in that oasis under the shade of some palm trees, drinking some milk and eating some dates, basically just chilling there and having a rest. And on their horizon, they saw someone, a shepherd maybe, running towards them and screaming, "I want my camel, I want my camel, where is my camel?" And when he was nearby, he told one of the brothers, "Have you seen my camel?" And then that brother told him, "Is your camel blind from his right eye?" He said, "Yes, he is." And the other brother, the second one, told him, "Is your camel missing a tooth?" And he said, "Yes, he is." And the third brother said, "Does your camel have a broken leg?" He said, "Yes, he does." The fourth one said, your camel is carrying honey and butter, right? And he said, yes, my camel is carrying honey and butter. Did you see my camel? No, we haven't seen any camel. You are lying to me because you just described my camel and what's on my camel. How on earth you tell me that you don't know where my camel is? You took my camel, you hide it from me, and I will take you to the king. The king is going to be the judge between us. Which king? They said the king, the white king. And the brother said, we are going there anyways. So let's go all together. And that's what they did. They went to see the king. As they were there, the four brothers and that shepherd. The shepherd was complaining to the king. Oh, your majesty, these four brothers stole my camel. And as the king had a look at those four brothers, they were looking fine, like well dressed, well behaved. So they were not expected to be thieves. So he told them, are you sure that these four fine men stole your camel? And he said, yes. How do you know? It's because they described my camel and what was on my camel. And he asked the four brothers, how come you could describe the camel and you did not see that camel coming to you? And here the first brother said, your majesty, I said to that shepherd that his camel is blind from his right eye, because the traces of a walking camel was always tending to go towards where the camel could see, his left eye, so he's always going to the left side. The second brother said that I knew the camel was missing a tooth because when we were following the traces, we found some grass. And we always find some leaves of grass, and there is always one that is very tall, unharmed and eaten. This is why I knew that the camel was missing a tooth. The third brother said, I knew that he was having a broken leg because looking at the traces, the camel toes, one is always, strange than the other. So I knew that he had a broken leg. And here, the fourth brother was asked, how did you know that the camel was carrying honey and butter? And here, the brother told him, I knew because there were mosquitoes following the traces of the camel. And this is how we knew. Then the king told them, well, you certainly convinced me. So he gave a camel to that shepherd and he decided to host those four brothers for the night, for the evening. So he asked some servants to escort them to their chambers, and they were served food and drinks just to rest before they meet the king. And here, just before they went to that chamber, the king sent a spy into the room just to see and to hear what they were looking for, what they were after. And as they were served food later on that evening, just the four brothers with the spy in the room listening to them, they were served some lamb. And here they started talking to each other. The first brother said to his other brothers, this lamb, the sheep, was breastfed by a dog. The second brother said, this wine, the grapes grew up in a graveyard. The third one said, the one who baked this bread had a problem. And the fourth brother said, the king is a bastard. All right. So they ate their food and they went to sleep as they had a meeting with the king later on that day. Here the spy went to inform the king. She was in front of the king, your majesty, they are asleep right now. I came to you to inform you what they said. Well, I mean, they did not say much, but they said four things that were weird, and I'm really afraid to tell you the whole story. And he told him, "No, you have my safety. You are my spy. You should tell me all the weird stuff that those brothers say." And here she told him everything, including what the fourth brother said about him, that he was a bastard. But here the king did not want to just be fast at judgment, and he wanted to make sure that what they said was right or wrong. So he went to his shepherd and he asked about that sheep who was slaughtered that morning for the brothers. Was he really and truly breastfed by a dog? The shepherd confirmed. He said yes, because when that sheep was born, his mother died, and there was no one to breastfeed that sheep except of the dog. The dog had some babies and some puppies, so he was being breastfed with the puppies. And here he went to the one who makes wine for him. He asked him from where did he bring the grapes that he served to the brothers. And he said, well, he was out of stock. He could not find any grapes in the market. And he remembered there is a wine tree in the graveyard. And he went and he picked some grapes, and this is how he made his wine. He said, okay, so the second one is also true. So here he went to the one who bakes for the royal palace, for the royal family. And he was having a conversation with him to figure out if he truly had a problem. And indeed, he had some financial problems, some family problems, and he could not bake the bread well. And here, I mean, it was only him left. He must be the bastard, and he needs to make sure of this. So he went to see his mother. He went to her room, and he drew his sword. And he told her, "Mother, I want you to tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Am I the son of the king, or am I a bastard?" She told him, "Where did you come with these words? You are a king, a son of a king. How did you know about all of this? Who told you all of these things?" And he told her, "Tell me the truth, or I will kill you and kill myself. I know that I'm not the son of the king. I know that my father could not have children." And she told him, "Just calm down, my son, and I'll tell you the whole truth. I'll tell you everything." So he put aside his sword and he started listening to his mother as she was telling him that his father could not have children, and he married more than 40 women trying to have children with him, and she was the last one. And one day she was in the souk roaming around, and she saw this merchant whom she liked, and he liked her back, and they had an affair, and she got pregnant. And here, once the merchant heard that he got her pregnant, he left that city because he was afraid of the king. And the king was so happy as he learned that his wife is pregnant. Now he's going to have a son or a daughter. And she told him, "My son, your father loved you and raised you like a real son to him. And everyone in the kingdom loves you as a king. So you would better keep this secret here. You know the truth, but it does not change anything right now." As he was convinced, the king went to meet the four brothers. And he sat with them. And he told them, "Why do you come to me? Why did you come to my palace? How can I help you?" And they told him that our father died, and he told that there was a bastard within us who is not going to inherit, and we went to split our father's money. So we came to you to tell us who is the bastard. And he told him, "Okay, I want you to tell me, what did you say to each other last night while you were having dinner?" The first brother said, "I said that the sheep was breastfed by a dog, It's because of the meat. The meat texture looks like a dog's meat, not like a lamb meat. Okay. The second one said that I knew that those grapes grew up in a graveyard because the first sip I took from that cup, I started thinking about afterlife and dying and judgment day. So it reminded me of me being within my grave. And the third brother said, I knew that the bread was made by a baker who had problems because of the texture of the dough. It was not really consistent, it was not really good. So once I break it, it just falls apart. And here, the fourth friend said, Your Majesty, I said that you were a bastard because only a bastard, has guests in his house and he leaves them eat alone. You did not come with us. You did not attend our dinner. So only a bastard could do that. And he told him, well, you are right. And I'll tell you what, only bastards know each other. So you are the bastard within your brothers. And this is how the riddle was solved, and they went back home, and those brothers inherited, and the bastard did not get any penny, and they lived all happily ever after until the end of time. And this is the end of my story. Thank you so much. Thank you. And now we have another storyteller, who is Muhammad. So Muhammad, please join us. And happy Ramadan to you, Muhammad. Okay.
For your time. I really enjoyed your story.
Okay, you can come here, man. Okay.
Put my phone into silence so that I won't be disturbed while delivering this amazing story to my peeps. What's up? Hello. How's it going? You doing good? How's life? Hey, Seth. How's it going? All good? Great. So, my following story, it will talk about a few things that we like to do, which is, it talks about life. The story that I'm going to be telling is about a lumberjack. Now, this lumberjack, he was doing his job. Until 1 second, he laid his eyes upon one lady. He laid his eyes upon her. He fell in love with her. And then he went to her. He said, will you marry me? She said, yes, I accept. And then he said, can you please give me 1 second, or better yet, can you come with me to the souk? There's someone that I need, there's a payment that I need to collect from someone. And then with that money, we can throw a party, our marriage ceremony. She said, yes, okay. They went to the shop. The shop owner got out, and then he talked to the man. He told him, hi, how's it going? The normal greetings and everything. And then our lumberjack said, I need that money because I'm going to be getting married, and I needed to throw the marriage ceremony. And then he said, well, congratulations. The merchant said, I'm really happy for you. Where's your wife? I need to see her. Can I see her? He said, okay, sure. And then he presented his wife to her. The merchant, he fell in love with her too. And then he said, can I have a word with her for 1 second? You know, I just need to get to know my sister-in-law. Supposedly. Anyway, so he talked to her, and then he grabbed her by the side and he said, I'm a merchant. What do you want to do with a lumberjack? Trying to win her over and stuff. Marry me. I have a lot of money and everything. And then, do you know what the lady said? Okay, sure, I'll marry you. Sure, that easy. Yeah. And then they got into an argument, the lumberjack and the merchant. They said, let's go to the judge. They went to the judge. They explained the whole situation to him. The judge asked to see this lady that they're fighting for. Same thing happened. When he saw her, he fell in love with her, he proposed to her, she said yes, they got into an argument. They said, let's go to the Prime Minister. They went to the Prime Minister. The same thing happened. The same thing happened. Where is she? He saw her, fell in love with her, marry me, argument, let's go to the king. Now, they went to the highest bar, the the big dog of the whole country, the big boss of the whole authority. He saw her, he fell in love with her, and he said, marry me. She said yes. They got into an argument. Imagine a lumberjack getting into an argument with His Majesty the King. It's like, over a lady. I mean, what the things that love can do to a person, the things that love can do to a man. Cuckoo, as you said, Bobsy. But Our Lady finally spoke. After she saw them arguing and fighting, she ordered them to stop and said, nobody of you asked me what I want. Everyone was talking about what you want, but nobody asked me. Here's the thing. Let's play a game. And the winner will get to marry me. I'm going to draw a line starting from the communal souk in the city. And then we're going to race. I'm going to go 5 steps ahead of you. The first person who catches me will marry me. Cool? All right, good. So they did. She drew up the line, and then she went 5 steps ahead of her. They said 3, 2, 1, set, go. She started running. They started running, and until now, nobody knew if they catch the lady, because that lady is a metaphor of life and time. No matter how much we chase time and we chase life, we will never catch it, because eventually we will go underground. And the moral of this story is, live the moment. Cherish the little things and your loved ones, because time flies and it will never go back. And that's the end of my story. Thank you. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you. So, huh? Do you guys want another one? All right. I'll give you another. All right. Zouhair. Okay. I'll do Zouhair. Sure thing. Now this following story, actually, it's about tricking. It's about tricking. Using tricks and stuff like that. It's very funny. So it talks about Zouhair. Now Zouhair is a let's say it's like a very famous character in the Arabic world, in the Arabic storytelling world. He's like the French Lupin. If you ever, he's like the Arabic version of French Lupin. Yeah. So Zouhair, he had a normal life. He mind his own business. He does his job, but may God be with the person who tries to come across him. Now let's say he's an evil person, but he got that evil under control, under voluntary control. He won't use it unless you come across him. If you don't come near him, he will leave you in peace. If you don't leave him in peace, he will not leave you nor your dynasty in peace. Now, yeah, sure, thank you. Now, he went, minding his own business, doing his trade. He used to be a merchant, selling rubies, selling jewelry, selling anything that is sellable, except human beings, actually. So he did not participate in that trade. He was like, I'm good. Now, one time, he was famous for his wits and intelligence. And the rumors started rising in the country, up to the point where one of the prime ministers saw it as an opportunity. And the opportunity was to marry the princess. By what? by going to the king and telling him that if this man gains more popularity, he's gonna go for the throne. And of course, any king would be afraid to protect his own throne. So, normal. And then he said, okay, sure, give me an opinion. What should I do? Now, the prime minister said, we need to bring him and ask him 3 impossible questions with no answer. With no answer. If he answers them, of course, we won't be able to answer them. If he don't answer them, we can send him to jail for life with hard labor. Okay, the king said, I get your plan, and it seems to be, reasonable to an extent. But what is your motive behind all of this? The prime minister said, he was super, to the point. He said, I need to get married to your daughter. Of course, if he gets married to the daughter, if the king passes away, she's the only heir to the throne, automatically the prime minister will be the king. The normal one. But the king saw it miles and miles away. He said, if you don't get it, you're the one who's gonna go to jail for life and get the hard labor, because what comes around goes back around. You are paid by the intention. So the next day they decided to call for Zouhair. He came. He was super sleepy. They called him at 3 p.m. He was having his nap. They dragged him from the bed and took him to the royal court. Okay. They brought him. They made him stand in front of them, in front of the king. And then the king asked him. He said, before asking him actually, he said, I heard that you are a smart person. And word have been delivered to me that you are intending to take my throne. Is that true? Zouhair started scratching his head. He said, 1 second I was sleeping. I was just having my nap. Now I'm being dragged to royal court, telling that I'm trying to organize a coup d'etat? Well, what is that? Where did that come from? What type of drug you guys are having? Because I need some of that. If you can give me that stuff, I need it. Like, hook me up, please. Now, the king said, enough with this charade. Enough with this blasphemy. Enough with whatever you're trying to do. You are going to be sentenced, and the only way for you to save yourself is to save and answer 3 questions that I'm going to be asking you right now. Now, Zouhair, as soon as he felt that pressure, that he had this feeling that he's being set up, he was trickster, but he never meant someone harm. He only did that to protect himself. That's it. He never touched someone or anything. He started to look at the room and observe the details. Observe and to find some clues, like this one scene from 6th season of Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack Sparrow was held and he had to run from the Royal Navy. He kept observing and observing and observing until he spotted the Prime Minister with this sneaky, conniving smile coming out of his face. He immediately knew that everything that is happening was because of that Prime Minister. He said, okay, sure, not a problem. Your Highness, what are the questions, please? Okay. He said, all right, sure, I'll ask you. First of all, I need you to count how many hair in my beard. Yeah? Second of all, I need you to tell me what is the center of the earth. That's it. 2 questions, actually. I'll give you 2 questions, not 3. Yeah, I'll do you good. All right. He said, Your Highness, I got the answers to those, but I will only answer them tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. if you want to get the answers. If not, I'm going to jail anyways. You can throw me. But I don't care. I don't mind. The king decided to, go. All right, I'll give you some space. You can go. He went the next morning, indeed. Did you know what Zouhair did? He came to the royal court on top of a donkey. On top of a donkey. And he refused to step off and to enter to the royal court with the donkey without stepping off. Now, as soon as he arrived to the royal court's doors, the guards wouldn't let him because how could you bring a donkey inside of the royal court? It doesn't make any sense. Now, the king told him, okay, he's going to jail anyway, just let him. Until he entered, and then he stepped off. He said, Your Highness, good morning, by the way, and, what am I supposed to say? You know what? Let's get right to the point. We don't need this charade and the greetings. Your Highness, I need you to bring your personal barber and your personal astrologist. These two. Immediately he called from His Majesty the King. Now the barber, when he heard that he's being summoned by His Majesty the King, he immediately took his gear and everything because the king tips very, very, very well. I mean, one tip equals like $100,000 for one haircut. What am I supposed to have? The haircut of Samuel or the haircut of an angel? Like $100,000 for a haircut? Anyway. That was a nice one. That's a priceless one, Baba C. That's a priceless haircut, Baba C. And a timeless one, you know, more sort of say. Now, he called for the astrologist and for the barber. They arrived with all excitement and everything. And the astrologist and the barber were very happy because they were being summoned by the king. Until Zouhair saw them. And then he said, Your Highness, your first question was to count how many hair in your beard. I need your barber to come and shave this donkey's back. The same amount of the hair that he's going to find there is the same amount of hair you have in your beard. That's the first one. And the second one, the center of this universe is where this donkey is standing. How about that? That's what he said. The king, he felt humiliated. He couldn't believe it. He was, what? How come the center of the universe would be the spot where the donkey is standing? And how dare you compare the amount of that hair to the amount of the hair of the donkey to my beard? Huh? How dare you? And then Zouhair said, how dare you give me these two impossible questions? Huh? Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I'm dumb? Not to know the purpose of this? These questions have no answer. At that time, not even Galileo had the ability to discover the center of the universe. And how can I count the hair on your beard? Your Highness, you're being tricked. And I bet that your barber and your astrologist will confirm whatever I'm saying. Your Highness, I never meant any harm. And unless you tell me the truth, I cannot tell you the truth as well. The king explained the whole situation to him. And then they immediately captured the prime minister because of his intentions. And Zouhair was about to receive a gift from His Majesty the King, but Zouhair refused it. He said, Your Highness, I don't need your money. I don't need your gifts. I just want peace. That's it. I just want no problems. I want to live my life in peace. I want nobody coming near me. That's it. But if you guys come near me again, I warn you. I really warn you, because you are not gonna like the outcome. So the king released Zouhair. The prime minister went to jail, and everybody lived happily ever after. But before I conclude this story, the moral of this story is, mind your own business. That's it. That's the moral of the story. Mind your own business if you want to live a happy, long life. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will leave you with my friend, Zouhair, the MC and Master of Ceremony of this night.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I guess from our side we came to the end of the session.
And
Anything
thank
from you, John?
Zouhair. Thank you, Zouhair and
We
Mohammed.
can't hear you.
And it's been a great
Baba
session.
C told you that you need to mind your business and tell great stories.
Tell him to mind his business because I've been doing my part.
Baba C told you that you need to mind your business because he's doing his part of the deal. So,
Right, so everyone, if you have,
we can't hear you, John. You're muted.
you should be able to now.
No,
Can you hear
still.
me now? Can you hear me, Seth?
Yes, I can
Hello.
hear you.
Okay. So,
I guess do we have the speakers working?
so every Sunday at this time, 4 o'clock Moroccan time, 5 o'clock UK time, there will be sessions
Yeah, we
on the
cannot hear you,
cafe.
John.
There will be sessions at the cafe. Now, can anyone remember? Is Mike still there?
You are very quiet, John. Yeah.
Can you hear
They're
me?
having trouble hearing you, John.
You should be able to hear me
Can't even
perfectly
hear
well.
Baba C. Can you
I
hear
can-
us, by the way?
Yeah,
We can hear you.
him.
right.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Seth.
Yeah, but
Let me just get out of this program quickly.
Okay.
We
Okay. We hear you right now.
we need to. Well, what would be good if you gave the address of the cafe in Marrakech? If anyone happened to be passing Marrakech, where can they find the World Storytelling Cafe in Marrakech? What is the name of the street?
It's بالفنادق.
Okay.
Close to Funduk. Close to Le Funduk restaurant. It's
Yeah,
very known.
Fonduk, and which is on all the maps. So
Yeah.
it's opposite the Fonduk restaurant. Please go in there. Please tell a story. Please. And every Sunday, there's Zouhair. There's either Zouhair himself or he arranges for. There's a magnificent collective, loose collective of new storytellers in Marrakech, which are doing amazing things. And so please come and support them either online or actually in Marrakech itself. Meanwhile, we're online. We have Baba C in Washington, D.C. We have Stephanie in the Cotswolds. Hello, Stephanie. Rona in Scotland. And Seth in next to Thames, I believe.
yes.
And so we're coming up in an hour's time, or at 7 o'clock UK time, which would be 8 o'clock Moroccan time. We have our worldwide story round. Everyone's welcome to come on to that and tell a story again. And then on Tuesday we have our wonderful international young tellers. That's at 4:30 in the afternoon UK time. And Friday we have stories from children. This Friday it's from me. And then it's back to the cafe, the World Storytelling Cafe in Marrakech for the Sunday sessions. Meanwhile, when the sun sets, eat well. And please visit us again. Good night, everyone.
Have a good one. Happy Ramadan again.
Happy Ramadan, everyone. Have a good one.
Happy Ramadan.
Peace.
See you, John.
Everyone.
Thank you, Mohammed and Zouhair. You've been magnificent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ali.
Right.
Thank you, Baba.
Hi.
Thank you, Ali, for
Bye.
driving the bus.
Thank you, my friend.
Seth, get well soon and completely.
Yeah.
Ali, stay the wonderful person that you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Baba.
All right.
Thank you, Chief.
Until
Take
the
care,
next time,
everybody.
to be continued.
مع السلامة.
مع السلامة.
I might see you in 2 weeks, Ali.
Okay, see you, sir.
ممكن في مراكش.
مرحبا. مرحبا.
شكراً.
في أي وقت.
مع السلامة.
مع السلامة.
Probably see you in about an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you now.